Back in 2011, I was fortunate enough to go on a mission trip overseas to Tanzania. If you've never been on a mission trip overseas, I highly recommend it. It is something that has impacted my life in many ways. I found a quote on Christianity or on pewforum.org that Christianity dominates the world of religion with 2.8 billion followers. So with that, our attitude going on this trip was we are the haves going to help not the have not. That wasn't really what our intentions was. It was more we are partners in a mission with our and going to learn from our Tanzanian brothers and sisters in Christ. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about how my church got started with this mission trip, what we did there, and how it hasn't changed and impacted my life. My pastor, he joined our church back home in 1999. When he started there, he really wanted to build a relationship with an organization overseas. And that was something that was very easy for him to do with our church because we had missionaries over there already. Dave and Uni Sinopson have lived the last 50 years over there, and they both have passed now, but they've made their life there, and they are so cherished in Tanzania. They helped build the Maasai Girls Church or school there, and I will talk a little bit more about that in a bit. So the first trip to Tanzania happened in 2002, and it was led by our associate pastor, Pastor Amy, because she did her seminar in Tanzania, so it was only fitting that she would help with the first trip. And then fast forward 9 years, and then it was my turn to go in 2011. Before the trip, there was a lot of preparation that we had to do. We had to do vaccinations. We learned a lot about the customs there, the mannerisms, the language. So it wasn't much of a culture shock when we got there. One of the first few days that we got there, we went to the Maasai Girls Lutheran Secondary School. This school is in Monduli, which is just a little bit out of the capital of Tanzania, which is Arusha. The girls' school is a boarding school, and most of these girls, their families are hundreds of miles away, so they live at this school. It's a boarding school. And the way the school works there is it's in parts. So part 1 to part 4, and part 4 is equivalent to a 10th grade learning standard. After that, they are allowed to take the national exams, and that is pretty much what their diploma is. At the school, we didn't really do much volunteer work, but we mostly just listened and engaged with the women or the girls at the school. It was very rewarding. It was good to see how they live their everyday life in such a different way than we do, and they're just so grateful for everything. And I was grateful to be there and to listen and hear it all. And then more on the labor part of our trip, the volunteer labor, we went to the Saline Lutheran Hospital in Arusha. My church back home, we have a connection with one of the doctors there, Dr. Mark Jacobson, and he is just a great guy doing wonders over there with the hospital. He has done many programs to help a bunch of Tanzanians, and then he has just kind of told us about the medicine and how they take care of their people over there. And one of the things that he has also started is the plaster house. The plaster house is where children from in the country who need orthopedic surgery, they come there first, get healthy, have the surgery, and then they stay there and recover. And they're away from their family the whole time, and it's just kind of scary for them. But this part of the trip was the highlight of our time. These kids, they were just so happy to see us. They were just laughing, and you just fell in love with them instantly. So when we said goodbyes, we all cried, and we were sad to leave them, but we were fortunate enough to help them. They were moving buildings, so we got to help them pack up and clean up the old house. So that was nice to see, and it's nice to see how much it's been thriving since then. One thing that we did every day, each of us kids, we led a devotion. And leading the devotion, it's kind of like seeing the gospel right before you. So it really opens your eyes to something every day. This trip to Tanzania, it widened my worldview on everything. I mean, you don't see a lot of the struggles here in America that they have over there. And it really just makes you stay in tune on what's happening in the world. And I think if I wouldn't have been on that trip, I would still be a little closeted on what's happening out in the world. The memories that I've made on this trip will be there for a lifetime, and I just hope one day I can do this again. There's so many impacts that volunteering and mission works can have on a person. Expanding what you learn and what you're teaching other people. I am very fortunate that my church gave us this opportunity to go to the girls' school and to go to the hospital and see what is happening on the other side of the world.